What's up, Amakhosi Network? Welcome to the channel, guys. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And thank you for all the support. Kaizer Chiefs is back. It's back. Like this weekend, we're watching our team. Be happy, guys. Be happy. But before we get into that, let's just discuss a few things. You guys wanted an update on the Pitso thing. And I'll tell you the update is this. There's no movement. Chief seems to be talking to a lot of people except for Pitso. That is what it feels like. There's no mention, no journalist is picking up. Journalists, like people on Twitter and stuff, have been asking journalists, like, have you heard anything about Pitso? Have you heard this? Have you heard this? And I've been going and searching. I've been looking and following all the journalists. I've been following everyone. And all of them are saying one thing. They are not hearing anything from Pitso or anyone. No, there's no movement. There's nothing. Like Chiefs is not talking to Pitso, and in that I don't know why. Like Pitso and Nabi for me would be my top two candidates. And yeah, for that's me personally. I would make Pitso and Nabi my top two candidates and get them the people they want. But Pitso comes with a family, which I'll also break down what that means. But I wanted to just quickly talk about why I wanted to update the story. Is that Brian Baloyi, Brighter Spider Baloyi, they asked him about the Kaizer Chiefs thing and then the coaching, and then he said this. He basically said it's a very big crisis that Chiefs doesn't have a coach, and it's like Chiefs needs to do something very, very important. And then when they basically asked him what does he think they need to do for Chiefs to get back to winning ways and to be a winning team, and he said it clear. He said Chiefs needs to break the bank and get Pitso. And he said Chiefs can do it. So Chiefs must break the bank and get Pitso and everything else will be sorted. So that is what Brian Baloyi said. And then after that, I just wanted to give you guys like an idea, right, about what this actually means. Ne? What does this actually mean that Brian Baloyi says we must break the bank? Okay, let me break it down for you. John Committee is the owner of Cape Town City, right? He mentioned that in order for a team to be successful and to compete each and every season, they need to be paid. They need to spend about 60 to 80 million rand a year. Every season, you have to spend 60 to 80 million to be a competitive, team in the league. So he's like, if you wanna be a Sundowns and win the league, you have to be paying about 60 to 80 minimum. He was basically saying minimum 60 to 80. And what have we seen? Let's give an example of what 60 to 80 means. A lot of you are looking at Sundowns. They're winning now. They're getting all the sponsors. So at the end of the day, they're going to start making profits. But if you actually look at Sundowns has been making more losses than they have been making profits, but it's an investment. So what do I mean losses? Sundowns spent about 52 million on Allende. Sundowns spent about 20 to 30 million on Maseko. Those two players make up that 80 million John Committees said a team needs to spend to make. But John Committees is not just talking about signings. He's saying to run the organization, to get the best training staff, to get the best coaches, to get the best team, to basically to run this machines to work so effectively. You need 60 to 80. But in those two players that I mentioned, and those weren't the only signings, but in those two players that I mentioned, a lot of you can already see that Sundowns has spent close to 100 million on their signings. But then on top of that, they are paying way more coaches. Like let me give you an example now. Santa Rulani went and brought in one of these other coaches who I think was coaching in Vela or Motsepe, the ABC Motsepe League, and he brought one of those coaches. So let me tell you what that means. That means that in the coaching staff, now the three coaches that are at the top, it's going to be Rulani. He's a coach, number one. Rulani, he should be paid maybe around 800K and above, probably. Mangoba Niti, probably paid about 800K and above. He's actually a coach. And this new coach, who's probably be paid around 500K, maybe around there, paid around 500K. So as I'm telling you this, you can already see these are just the coaches alone. They are paid, let's just say all their salaries together is plus minus between 2 to 3 million a month. Those two coaches. Already you can see that is not the only thing. Then there's fitness trainers, there's psychological trainers, there are scouts, there are the dietitians, there are all these things that Sundowns pays already, meaning that Sundowns is way over that 80 million. And what I'm just trying to make you guys understand is that to be competitive, you have to spend money, right? You have to spend money. So right now, let's just go back to our beloved team, Kaizer Chiefs. Let us say Kaizer Chiefs is spending 60 to 80 million right now as a team to try be competitive in the league. If they're spending 60 to 80, and now we want them to hire Pitso Mosimane. Pitso Mosimane and his team, like I told you the last time in the other video, like I was mentioning, his team will cost about 5 to 6 million a month, right? And then when we rounded that up, we said Pitso's team altogether should cost Chiefs about 60 million a season to have all of his coaches. 60 million a season, and Pitso is going to want Chiefs to sign players. So let's just say Pitso signs now in before January. That means that before January, the season is almost done. So now Chiefs is going to start paying 5 million every month. And then what's going to happen is that they're going to want to now look for players for Pitso Mosimane, because Pitso Mosimane uses proper scouts. So let's say now Chiefs ends up paying signs players worth a value of 30 to 40 million now in Jan. All in all, it will mean that Chiefs, by the time the end of the season comes, having signed Pitso, they would have already spent about 30 to, let's say, 70 million on having Pitso's coaching staff and signing Pitso players. What am I saying about this? I'm saying that Chiefs is a very cheap team. Unfortunately, guys, we are a very cheap team. I don't know if we are poor, but we don't want to say I don't know. There was an article earlier this year that was saying Chiefs is owned by is partially owned. I think that guy owns 30% of Chiefs by a billionaire or something like that. But I've never seen that power. Like Patrice Motsepe came there and we saw the power of like what he has. So this guy that they're saying Chiefs owns a part of Chiefs, I've never seen how his money affects Chiefs. But what I'm trying to say is this, guys. I'm trying to say I don't want us, and I'm speaking specifically to the Amakhosi network, I don't want you to keep your hopes up. I don't want you to get ahead of yourselves. Chiefs is going to go for the cheapest option that they think is the best option. Why do I say this? Right now, Chiefs is going out and interviewing Brazilian coaches. Chiefs is going out there interviewing all these other coaches. But what is the main thing that you can understand when Chiefs is doing this? It sounds like Chiefs wants one person to fix yonke le nonsense le. So they want to sign one person, pay that person a nice salary of like, let's say, 1 million to 1.5 million, and make that guy now fix Chiefs like 100%. And what I'm gonna say is that one person can't fix 100%. Why do I say one person can't fix 100%? When Pitso comes, he's going to come with his training coach. When Pitso comes, he's going to come with his assistants who know the tactical stuff of the game. He's going to come with people who understand scouting. He's going to come with people who know how to structure training sessions, how to do strategic things, etc. When the Brazilian coach or whoever Chiefs sign comes, he's going to come in an environment that is already failing. Meaning that when he comes here, he's going to find those cantons who can't train the teams physically. And we've seen it. I don't know what more anyone wants to see. Scanzonzo does not train our players to be fit. Our players die in 30 minutes. And then he's going to find Dylan Shepherd, inexperienced coach. I don't have a problem with Dylan Shepherd, but at this point, we are Kaizer Chiefs and we are in crisis mode. When I say we're in crisis mode, I'm like, Dylan Shepherd, if you're going to have Dylan Shepherd, if you're going to have Dylan Shepherd should never be number 2. Dylan Shepherd should be your number 3 or your number 4. Because if Dylan Shepard is there, if you have a coach like Dylan Shepard or Arthur Zwane, they need to be learning from experienced people, and the experienced people need to be one and two. And in that, I want to make you guys understand this. Kaizer Chiefs in the past seasons has been coaching with an inexperienced coaching staff, but we as fans just didn't realize it. What do I mean by we didn't realize it? Let me tell you what I mean. Kevin Hunt, he got there, he brought Dylan Shepard. And then who was already there? Arthur Zwane. Kevin Hunt was the experienced person, but who are the people who were next to him? Arthur Zwane and Dylan Shepard. Inexperience. Inexperience is an understatement. Then Stuart Baxter came, same story. Stuart Baxter came, got there, was training, had who? Arthur Zwane, Dylan Shepard. What does that mean? Inexperience. A very inexperienced coaching staff. And then Zwane became coach, and then Zwane's assistant was Dylan Shepard. Dylan Shepard, what does that mean? Inexperience. Why do I say this? Because Chiefs didn't have the foresight of saying, let's bring in an experienced coach to help Dylan Shepard and Arthur Zwane as their assistant, the third or second assistant to help guide them. No, Chiefs did not say that. Chiefs said, these are rookie coaches who've only coached kids can now coach Amadoda. So that is what Chiefs are saying. They failed. And then Chiefs went on to sign Molefi, another coach who has no experience. And then it was Molefi, Arthur Zwane, Dylan Shepard. We failed. And now Kevin Johnson is coach. And he left who? He's left with Dylan Shepard and an experienced assistant coach. What does that mean? Failure. Failure. We're not functioning like a winning team. We're not functioning like a good team. It is really bad being a Kaizer Chiefs supporter right now, because let me tell you something. I'm not an expert at football. I will not say I have a PhD. I will not say I know XYZ. I won't even say I can go and coach Chiefs, because I can't. I'll put my best players and I'll try to do my best way to motivate them. But I know that I'll be like Arthur Zwane and Dylan Shepard and flop. I'm sure. Maybe not, because at least I can put in a better squad in the field. I back myself with that. But yeah, anyway, what I'm saying is that I may not be expert, and we may not be experts as fans, but why are we able to see the problem and Kaizer Chiefs can't? I think this is a very big problem for me. It's a very big problem that a fan can see more than an owner. You know, it's like, what can I say? Who are the smartest people we have seen in our lives? People like Steve Jobs, etc., etc. Now imagine if we know more than Steve Jobs. That means we won't have Apple iPhone. That means we're going to have a grape phone, which, yeah, it will never be Apple. It will just be grape. You know, that's my problem. Imagine we knew more than Nelson Mandela. Then he sold our country to the white people. And then that's what happens. And that is my problem right there. That is my problem right there. Our leaders need to know more than us. But right now they're showing inexperience. Why is that? Kaizer Motaung Jr. Let me say this. I am going to blame Kaizer Motaung Sr. Why am I going to blame Kaizer Motaung Sr.? He had all the influence in the world. What do I mean has all the influence in the world? If I was Kaizer Motaung Sr., I would have taken Kaizer Motaung Jr. and taken Bobby Motaung when they were young, and go and speak to clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid, and make these boys do 2 years internships while I am still fresh as Kaizer Motaung Sr. These boys will go there, they'll learn how to run a big club, sign big players, etc., understand culture, understand all these things. And then after 2 years of learning and all of these things, which is funny because Kaizer Motaung Jr. hasn't been in football all these years because they said he was studying and all of those things, but he didn't study the right things. That's the thing. Studying a degree is not studying how to own a club. And that's my problem. And then you take them to Real Madrid, you take them to Manchester City, etc. And then after that, what do? They come back. When they come back, they have networking. They know how to network, get the right coaches, get the right fitness people. They understand the level of football Kaizer Chiefs should be playing. They understand the culture that that breeds winning. They understand no nonsense. No nonsense means you don't bring a mediocre player to Kaizer Chiefs. You don't bring a second-hand goat to Kaizer Chiefs. They will understand all those things, and on top of that, they will understand how to respect their father. Their father's business needs you to respect it, and that is one thing I'll say. Amakhosi for life. That's all I have to say. I know I said a lot, but thank you for listening.